Yo, what is up, guys? Today is 7/22/2015. I do want to state that yesterday I did not go ahead and post a video, so I just want to let you guys know what happened yesterday. Essentially nothing, which is why I didn't post a video. I literally traded I did like 6 or 7 trades yesterday, and I had like 3 winners, 4 losers, and I still ended up like green on the day. I was green like something like 0.4R or something like that. It was so insignificant that I didn't even bother to post a video. But yeah, I actually lost more than I won yesterday, and I still ended up making a 0.4R. I was yesterday up a full percent on my port, but I gave back a little bit of profit due to the losses. But we're gonna go ahead and just talk about today here. So I want to go ahead and show you guys something first before I go ahead and do that. And what I want to go ahead and show you is my actual thought process here in the morning in my Discord. Well, not my Discord, but the private messages that I do send. So I'm gonna bring this on over just so you guys can see. So at 9:22, because this, he texted me kind of late. Look at the time this guy texted me. Yo, morning, brother. Powell speaking today. Like that he was going through his game plan. And I basically said, listen, names looking for rejection steps. Wait, names. Looking if rejection steps in, PLTR, AMD, NVIDIA, ARM. I basically said I was going to allow the market to come to me. AMD is a tough trader, though. So on and so forth. If you guys want to pause the screen and read basically my synopsis on everything here, I'm going to scroll for you guys. I'm going to scroll. Keep scrolling for you guys. If you guys want to pause it and read what I have to say, here you guys go. It's free game. Just pause it. And then I kind of drew some extra stuff. I'm moving a little faster now because I think we're getting close to the end. I also talk about my trades here that I took. And yep, there you go. All right, guys. So that was basically it. Just so you guys can see that I did take trades today, and I did communicate it with kind of the guy that I'm kind of mentoring. So I'm gonna walk down my positions, and I'm gonna walk through like essentially what happened. So today, because of the way that kind of ES QQQ was all set up, I thought today was going to be a relatively weak day just because of how we opened. The thing that sucks is I thought that we were going to get some pops in the early morning, and we didn't. We just straight off the gate failed on PLTR. I want to let you guys know what I was hopeful for PLTR here today was I was actually hopeful for like a pop, coming up here. Like I have price alerts here, so I was hoping for a pop up here and then a fade. But right out the gate, we were getting some weakness, and we got this mean flush out in the morning, and I could not, for the love of me, I just could not get into this, guys. Like there was no way. Like I seen this bar close, and I was like, God damn, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Is this thing really just gonna flush out? And then I seen a nice pop here, but it was so early. I have previous days close, pre-market highs, previous day lows. Everything is showing me that this is gonna be a rejection. We're under VWAP, staying heavy. We got the EMAs, the 6 EMA, the 20 EMA, just pushing it down. And I didn't trust it. But what I did do was, there's 2 things that you can do here. There's 2 things. One, you can either play for the V shape, or 2, you can wait for the pop to fade. Me, I was not going to go contrarian today because you guys know that I am a better short seller than I am longing. So if I'm better shorting and we're getting a tank out off the rip, straight off market open, I'm going to just wait for the pop to then fade. Any pop towards VWAP is essentially what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys where I got my first trade in. So we get this mean pop over here. I put a starter on right here. I see this topping tail come in. I add more here. I see this pop here, and I add more here. I get into a full-size position, and I covered immediately into this washout right here. This is where I covered. And then we get this pop up. I short back up here because this is pre-market lows. So I'm going to use pre-market lows as my guide. We get a quick flush out. I cover right here. We get another pop. I end up shorting right. Let me make sure I get this right because I actually lose money on this trade here. I get short right here on this pop thinking that we're going to have a lower high. We come down, wick, come down, wick. I drew this trend line thinking that, you know, this is going to break. It goes ahead and pops over, stops me out because it gets above pre-market highs, and then it fades. And by that time, I was already up 3% in my portfolio. So I was like, yeah, I'm just done for the day. So I am up 3% in totality here on PLTR. This was my only trade, but I was really looking forward to AMD as well. AMD had an incredible washout. I think it's 10 daily, 10 daily moving average. And AMD had a beautiful washout here. Semiconductors are relatively heavy, guys. There has been some sort of tape change in semiconductors. I mean, we could pull up NVIDIA. NVIDIA, look at this. NVIDIA was also clean out. Notice how everything's gonna kind of look identical, right? NVIDIA, AVGO for the first time. You guys know that this name is just a monster. AVGO got weak, which was really interesting because this name is, you know, literally like the strongest semi-stock name. ARM was, oh my god, I was so angry that I missed this opportunity on ARM because this was a layup in my opinion. I just don't like the way that it faded, man. It just straight out the gate fade. But ARM was a layup in my opinion. Just sucks that you get the fade and you don't get the pops. You know, ideally what I want to see is I want to see a fade. Maybe gets the previous day lows. Maybe pops back up to here, right? Maybe right here it pops up because you see bottoming wicks. You get some wicks here. And then we start failing. But we don't get that pop. So if we're not going to get that pop to fade, I just can't fade it, guys. If this market's going to completely drip out and fade out, you know, I'm not going to short in the hoe, guys. That's not what I do. I don't short when this is just tanking out. Like, because as fast as this is tanking out is as fast as this could V-shape back up. And I'm not in the game to sit here and guess whether today's going to be the day that we keep flushing or if we're going to go ahead and flush the previous day lows and then V-shape right back up. You know, especially in a bull market. You know, I'm not in the game to go ahead and do that. So, unfortunately, I missed out on this opportunity. What I do want to go ahead and have you guys take a note of is Apple here today. Apple was showing relative strength all day. And if you guys pause, you know, my messages that I showed you guys earlier on the Discord, I let Marksman know, my protege, Evan, whatever, I let him know, keep an eye on Apple because this name, it's not going down. And this is very big because if the macro markets start to come in, Apple's more than likely going to join, but Apple might show some relative strength. And you want to keep your memory on this name because names that are showing relative strength during market weakness, you want to have on watch when markets catch that bid back up. Because this name right now, think about how this name's been channeling all day. Or basically almost all year. Like look at this kind of channel, right? And it's showing some strength here, guys. It is showing some strength. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at Apple. Look at how Apple looks, right? And then let's look how SPY looks. You see the difference in how this is kind of looking, and then let's pull up QQQ. On the day, it looks different, guys. This name has some strength to it. If this pullback was just a pullback for another bid up, Apple is going to be something you want to keep an eye on. If this continued weakness is a change of character for SPY and QQQ, you want to still keep Apple on watch. I wouldn't long Apple yet. What I would want to do is I want to see if all right, today was just a little flush out to reclaim and then we go up and break all-time highs again, or is there going to be a tape change? And then I want to see how Apple is going to react until a bid comes back and steps in on SPY. Because if a bid comes in, steps, you know, and it pushes on the gas on SPY and QQQ, and this name is showing relative strength, this name is going to be the one to move. And what I mean is, so let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft. We can see this type of recovery on Apple, guys. If you guys think that Apple cannot do this, you're out of your mind. Apple can 100% build a systematic buy. So just keep them on your watch because this was pretty interesting. Also, Google really quick. Google has earnings. This got actually a sick bid up back up. I didn't see that when I got done trading around midday. So yeah, I mean, this had a mean weakness. Nice little V shape. That's actually kind of sexy. Let me see how Amazon closed out. Oh, Amazon closed out weak. Under VWAP. Brother, But yeah, so just keep that in the back of your mind, man. I'm officially up 3% today on the on my PLTR trade. The gains are just compiling, guys. I keep talking about it. I keep mentioning it, man. Small gains start to add up quite quickly, as long as you're trading correctly. I am going to have that inevitable day where I make 10% in a single, 10-20% in a single day. That day is just right around the corner. I just got to get the right market behind me. Currently, I have not had the best kind of market, so it is what it is. I mean, I say that, but we had opportunities like QS yesterday. We had this awesome fade yesterday, but I couldn't take it. I couldn't take QS yesterday, which is unfortunate. But that's all it is. We're going on 11 minutes. I've had a good day. I hope you guys had a good day as well. PLTR was my only winner and my only loser here today. I think I made money on 3 trades and lost on 1. So that is about it, guys. I am up about 22%. I think I texted Evan what I was up. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm up 22% now in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that, in my current portfolio. So that is sick, And that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.